Hello everyone, Crow here, and I'm making this video because I picked up a new cell phone 2 days ago, and a lot of people I think were curious as to what cell phone I was going to get because I had been talking about it for a long time. What started me all on this was back a couple months ago, back in February, Retro Gamer VX had picked up a new phone, and that got me thinking, hey, my contract is almost up, and I'm going to be eligible for a new phone soon. So I started researching phones, and I kept looking, what was coming out and everything. But before I actually get to the phone I picked up, I thought it might be interesting to go through all the cell phones I've actually had in my life. There's not that many of them. There's I'm looking at them like 5, 6 of them now. So I'm just going to run through that in this video. But before I continue any further, there has been some, concerns about the giraffe clock. If we pan up here, I put the giraffe clock in this shielding environment. So, any signals he may be emitting are maybe not even blocked all the way, but, I've got another case that's completely encased in foil, but this one seems to be working just fine, just in case, So, like in other videos, I will let him out, but in the meantime, I'll just keep him in here, because, a lot of people are worried that he's ticking now. I'm not so worried about that. I think he's just happy. So, that's where I'm keeping the giraffe clock now. So, let's pan down and talk about the first cell phone I ever had. Now, I actually don't have the phone anymore. I actually gave it to my sister when I was done with it. But it was basically this one right here. I've got just a picture of it. It's the Nokia 5110. It was basically it was the first cell phone I had. My dad actually bought it for me. I really wasn't interested in cell phones at the time. This was around 2000 or 2001. And it had an interchangeable faceplate. You used prepaid cards. I remember that you had to at least buy a or install a prepaid card on it at least once every 2 or 3 months or something like that. Otherwise, it would be deactivated. But I had that for a couple of years, probably around 2 years. I gave it to my sister. I had an interchangeable faceplate. The faceplate I had on mine was kind of like a cracked yellow kind of faceplate. I liked the way it looked. So, yeah, it was just the normal, basic Nokia phone. I think everybody had this phone back then at that time. So, yeah, that was the first phone. The second one is when I actually started going to a contract plan. I actually went with Verizon, and I remember buying this phone at Radio Shack because they had some kind of deal. So it was with Verizon. This is the Kyocera slider. And, it slid open, the keypad slid down. I thought it was really cool. It was really, really small. You could kind of tell that from this picture. And the keypad slid out. I only had one game on it, and it's actually in this picture as well, and that was like Tetris. So, it was a really small phone. I was really happy with it. But then again, this was, what year was this? Let me see here. That was around 2003. I picked up this phone. 2005, my contract was up, and I still stayed with Verizon, and I got this phone. It's the, I think this is called the NV, the Verizon NV, or the LG NV. Okay, I still have it charged up and everything. So, So what was interesting about this phone, and the reason I went with it, is because it's pretty thick, but it had a open keyboard, 2 screens. Had a couple. I put some games on here at one point. Let's see, oops. So our contacts are still in here. Let's see here. How do I menu? There's a menu button, isn't there? Is it this button? Yeah, well, there we go. I don't even know how well this is picking up on the phone. But yeah, there you go. I get some, just curious what games I got in here. Opening. Yeah, Gun Blocks. Luminous I had on here. There's a golf game. It wasn't bad for the time. Actually, the Luminous game was probably it was really good for the time. So, yeah, this was around 2005. And, I think the PSP came out around that time, too. So I had Luminous on the PSP. I couldn't resist getting it on this phone. yeah, so you got the two speakers, which I thought was really cool here. The other thing is, like, if you look at the back of this, the phone on this looks pretty damn serious. Although it's only a 1 megapixel camera, it looks like a damn serious. And I remember, yeah, this was a pretty good phone. The problem I had was this is about the time I started dating my wife now, and she text messaged a lot. And you're thinking, well, great, I had a keyboard for text messaging. The only problem was Verizon really didn't have unlimited texting plan. That was the reason I left them when my contract was up. So the phone I had after this one, I got away from Verizon completely, and I actually went with Helio. Now Helio, it doesn't exist anymore. They were swallowed up by Virgin Mobile, and but actually what's funny about it is I found this phone at GameStop. They were selling these at GameStop. And I went home, did my research, and I was like, oh, you know, it had a really good plan, unlimited text, unlimited web, unlimited, everything was unlimited. It was a really cheap price. So I went with it. Now you're saying this, and I like the rubberized feel of this phone, the camera on the back and everything. But what I really liked about this phone, and this was Helio's flagship phone, was it, you know, the, oops, here we go, slid up for the keyboard. But then it also slid sideways, or yeah, the keypad, and then you slid it this way for the keyboard. So, and then you had, see, I wonder what games I got on this one. Surf, album, games, here we go. Yeah, I don't have too many on here, and a lot of these were like Java, like Pac-Man, that's not really that good. But Tower Blocks was probably the one I played the most on this. It had a Asphalt Urban GT. But yeah, with unlimited texting, it was a pretty good phone. And then when I was looking into the Ocean 2, 2 years later, so I got this phone in 2007. 2 years later, it was like 2009, and I was waiting for the Ocean 2 to come out, and it looks like this phone just ran out of batteries, and it's shutting down or something. Or no, it's not. I don't know what it was doing. Anyway. So yeah, at around 2009, I was looking into the Ocean 2, except it was like the same phone again, 2 years later, and they barely updated anything on it. So I was redoing my research, and that's when I happened upon this phone. This is the G1. This is actually the phone that I just replaced. I got this phone in 2009, and just replaced it now in 2011. This was the first Android phone that ever came out. That was my keyboard unlocked, but that's okay because I don't I don't use it anymore. But yeah, this is basically Android, and basically it was only upgradable to 1.6, Android 1.6. They're on 2.3 right now, so there's a lot of software or whatnot that I'm not able to put on this. Plus, the phone is like not being very responsive to me. It's still linked to my Google account, and that's why this light is flashing, because it still says I have emails. But you know, after this video, I'll probably shut it off for good. So yeah, I mean, let's see. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that I can really show on here. But yeah, but the thing about this phone too is that it had a keyboard, which is what I was into. It was important that my phone at the time had a keyboard for text messaging. Didn't mention, but when I left Helio, which really wasn't Helio anymore at the time, I went to T-Mobile. They've got some pretty good plans. That's the reason I went with them. Unlimited texting and everything. It's a cat hair. This has a trackball, menu button, and everything. I actually had a replacement battery put in here, and that battery was held three times capacity. And finally, the phone I have now, and I'll actually go further in depth on this in a separate video, is this one right here. This is the phone I went with. If you cannot tell, this is the T-Mobile G2X. It was just released a couple days ago. It's by LG, and I hope that curbs your curiosity. I'll go a little bit further in depth in this phone in another video. So stay tuned for that. See you till then. Bye.
Oh, don't tell me Hercules is in this movie.
Hercules is in this movie.
Do it, Des. You got to tell me that. Cabin boy.